Karate Chop. Welcome to The Highway, episode whatever, because I'm not supposed to say it. I think I say that every episode. But this is the second episode that is off-site, out of state.
Yeah, I guess.
What would you call that?
Yeah, off-site, out of state,
Yeah.
and with a guest.
Yeah, off-site, out of state with a guest. Also, kind of important to note is that Bird is not with us.
R.I.P.
Yeah, not like he died. Like, he's alive. I don't know. Actually, he may be dead.
Yeah,
I haven't been home.
we haven't checked on him in a minute.
Yeah, I haven't been home in like 3 days, so it's possible he's dead, but I hope not. So Bird isn't here, so now it's just going to be me and the Smee. How are you, Smee?
I'm good. Feeling good.
Good. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Okay. And we are in Connecticut.
Yes, we are.
Which I've never been to Connecticut.
Now you
until
have.
today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we also have a guest, which is super exciting because honestly, we've never met, which is also kind of weird and creepy in a way.
We're just rolling with it.
Yeah, we're going to roll with it, and she's rolling with it, so I think that's pretty cool. And we're going to go by her meme page name, which I think is pretty baller. Got some pretty dank memes. Is that a cool thing to say?
Yeah, dank memes is totally cool.
Okay.
We're just a bunch of 30-year-olds.
Yeah. I'm definitely like appealing to the younger crowd right now. So yeah, super pumped. I guess we've chit-chatted, messaged a few times, right, back and forth, but we have, I feel very mature saying this, Wreck My Pelvis with us on this episode. So, Wreck My Pelvis, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Always good. You know, just saying Wreck My Pelvis makes me somewhat uncomfortable.
Also, I want to point out that it's like the internet and it's like 2023. So you can be like best friends with people and like never have met them.
That's also true.
It's like a thing, like especially with younger kids, it's like totally normal for these people.
Yeah. I'm close to 40, so I'm not sure that I'm still in that younger generation. But I do appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you trying to make me feel good, which is nice. So, okay, real quick, I've got to get this one out there. So we had like chit-chatted a few times about you being on the potty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you listened to the first episode. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I've seen some hesitation.
No, I did.
Okay.
She loved it.
All right, so I got this is actually going somewhere, so just bear with me. What were your thoughts? Did you just listen to the first one, or have you listened to other ones?
I just listened to the first one.
Oh my God. Somebody get her off of here right now.
I'm sorry. It's like on my list. Listen, I have really terrible ADD. So like, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to do this today. And then 18 other projects come up. And then I finish the day with 3 completed projects, but they were nothing that was actually on the list. So
okay, but
I do love it though.
Yeah, we could actually market our podcast to maybe the ADD audience, because they also don't stick with any full thought as well. So
yeah, maybe you're like our liaison to the ADD world.
Key demographic right here is like, if you want to hear a full subject, then don't listen
to this, because we're all over the place. Okay, so
no, I loved it, and I love it, and I think it's cool, and I was also like sort of interested in how you got into it, because I like, it's something that I've always thought about, but I'm like, I don't know. Will people listen? I don't know.
So that's a great question. So really our co-host Bird, so he's like a hillbilly, if you didn't gather that information, and he likes to be busy doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey dude, we should start a podcast, right? Because we have the Extracted thing going. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I think it'd be funny, I think it'd be interesting. So literally I kind of put out a poll. It's been probably 6-8 months ago now, probably when you had that little break, which I do want to talk about later. But yeah, I think we got 100% hit rate as far as like starting a potty and people that would listen. So really, we don't have any idea what we're doing. We're just doing it.
Mm-hmm. Making it up as we go.
Yeah.
Where'd you get the equipment? Like Walmart or?
Okay, so good question. So all the training that we do a lot of online training.
Oh.
Yeah, so like we do recordings where people can like log in, take the training. It gives them like continuing education hours. So I already had the recording equipment. In fact, I don't think I had to do anything except buy an extra set of headphones or something.
No, yeah, we didn't buy any new equipment until we started adding headphones and guests and stuff like that. So
yeah, of course, like the more things we get into, like the more like stuff we get, but like the mic and stuff we already had. So it was pretty
nice.
Yeah, so like,
and
why not?
Had like the video editor and stuff like that he used for trainings.
So. Yeah. So here we are.
Nice. And you teach people how to recognize marijuana intoxication and I'm using.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, is this
Wait
the
a
first
second.
virtual SFST?
Wait a second. So, like, yes, we do teach that. So today we had a Green Lab in Connecticut, which was Connecticut's first ever Green Lab. So we're pretty like pumped about that we were able to kind of put that on, right?
Yeah.
But I also feel like I need to follow up with, you're using it?
Not right now.
Oh,
but I know. But like, I would much rather do that than like drink alcohol. I don't really drink alcohol anymore. And currently, I live in a state that's decriminalized, still medicinal with a card or use with a card. And then I'm working in a state that's completely decriminalized and just recently added dispensaries. So like, yeah. And like I think people who know my page know I'm a nurse. And so the facility that I work at actually doesn't even drug test for anything anymore because
oh, wow.
Crazy, right? Because what they're looking for can be out of your system in just a few days. So it's widely used. I would say a lot of healthcare people aren't smoking it necessarily, but edibles and whatnot. So
okay,
yeah, it's great.
So yeah. So if they test you, are they doing like oral fluid? Are they doing urine? Can I ask how they would test you?
Well, up there they don't test at all. But where I live, they do urine tests. But what's interesting is some of the like medical transport companies around here do the saliva test. I have a friend who actually just applied for one of those companies today, and they did a saliva test, which I guess is like not very accurate or reliable. I don't know that much about it, but they said that so I'm like, okay, so basically they just don't care who they're hiring. They just are doing the test for like showing. Yeah.
Huh, interesting. So we actually use oral fluid testing, so saliva, for the Green Labs, and it's actually pretty accurate from what we see.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's so interesting.
I would be curious to see like what.
Just like nanograms or like
what their cutoff is, like the company or whoever's doing that.
Well, yeah, and I had never even heard of that type of testing. I actually thought it would be pretty accurate. And this person also uses marijuana, and so I was like, "Oh, you didn't get the job then?" And they were like, "No, I did. I passed." He's like, "I rinsed with hydrogen peroxide prior."
Okay,
Isn't
hang
that
on.
insane? I was like, "Okay, what?"
So wait a second. I'm gonna say number one, I wouldn't have rinsed with hydrogen peroxide.
No, absolutely not.
Number two, probably what he did or she was take a break from cannabis for a period of time. And then oral fluid is testing for more probably either Delta 9 or hydroxy. So like the active ingredients, if you will, or the active metabolites. So he probably exceeded that window for oral fluid and then technically tested negative, if that kind of makes sense. So like urine, it shows for a long time, but oral fluid, it's more active.
Because what is it when it's in your system for the extended period? But
Carboxy
is past the metabolite period.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. That's so. I literally just had that conversation before I got home tonight, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. So
it
may have been actually oral fluid was more accurate, which actually helped him out because he took a break, or again, she took a break for a minute. I'm guessing.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
Yeah. Does the oral test, what is it? Is it only testing for marijuana, or is it testing for like a panel?
So usually your oral fluid tests have a panel. So like your urine's probably 9 or 12 panels. But so saliva, it kind of really depends what they select. So the people that we use, you can actually select your own panel of drugs to test for. So I think we actually test for 18.
Do they test for mushrooms?
So I mean, again, I think you're asking for a friend. Asking for a friend.
And for the sake of science, she's asking.
Yeah. So I would say to test for psilocybin is probably going to be pretty rare.
I thought so too. Okay.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's rare if everything's going well for you. I mean, again, I don't know.
No, I'm just like we can get into that at some point, but I'm in I'm like definitely in the on the science side of like because they declassified it, or what do they call it? Controlled. It's no longer like controlled anymore, but I think it's only for research, and I'm like very much in that like group that I think it should be.
So I'm curious. Still
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it looks like they're looking at it for research for like PTSD and stuff, which,
Yeah.
I know it does show some sort of positive
Yeah.
things for that, which I think is cool, right? If it works, then I think that's great. I'm actually
Yeah. And
go ahead.
oh, and I don't mean like taking large doses and like just like tripping like balls like all the time, but like, like these micro doses, if it does like sort of, if it replaces an antidepressant, I would totally be for that.
Yeah. If it could like boot benzos, I think that would be a really, a positive thing.
Oh yeah.
I hope would like to see us kind of lay back and do some testing first before we go like full steam into this, but maybe I'm crazy. Okay. Maybe I'm a little
No, I think
apprehensive.
you're probably smart. You're way smarter than me.
I wouldn't say I'm more reserved. Okay. You totally threw me off track.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
What in the world did you guys do? I was totally headed somewhere with this.
We were talking about the Green Lab. That's how we got started on the topic.
Yeah, so we're in New England. I can't remember. You guys totally threw me off here. So let's go back to the meme page. First off, where did you get the name Wreck My Pelvis?
Well, real quick, someone messaged me today and said, someone that knows me there's not a lot of people on there that know me personally, like actually know me. And they messaged me and said, your page is so unhinged, but you're so nice. Like, what the hell? I'm like, well, it is like a part of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had been wanting to start this for a little while now, and I wasn't sure. I think I was like hesitant because I couldn't come. I was like, what's the name going to be? And I don't know. And da da da. And one of my biggest pet peeves is people. So it has two meanings, obviously, but one of my biggest pet peeves is people driving down the road with their feet up on the dash, like especially like passengers, right?
Okay.
Like if you get into a car accident, you are going to wreck your pelvis, like or femurs, like 100%.
Okay, I thought wreck pelvis was completely different.
Yeah.
Well, then it has like another like
it's a double entendre. Yeah.
Yes, and so
okay, I like it. I'm gonna stick to what I normally thought it was.
Yeah, she's turned a pet peeve into a passion,
an innuendo,
an outlet.
Yeah.
Yes, an innuendo.
Yes.
Okay. So when did you start it? Like how long ago?
I don't remember, but you and a few others are like some of the OG followers.
Oh boy, what?
Yeah, because I meant to look back today and look when my first post was, and I think if I remember, it was around March of 2022. So I'm coming up on a year. Shoot. Oh gosh,
wow.
I am coming up on a year.
Yeah, like happy early birthday, Rick.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna look here because I do remember you popping off, and I was like, I don't know who this person is.
And then you had your stickers, and I was like, oh my god, I have to get one of these. Oh, I was just gonna say your stickers. I couldn't remember the exact date of when I started, but I remember it was kind of warm out here. And I was putting them just like all over like the beach town.
And that was like Defundy's nuts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think that's kind of how our little, because I wouldn't say I'm a meme page, right? I mean, yours is like an official meme page, right? I would say that I dip my toes in it a little bit.
Yeah, you're semi-funny.
She'll give you
what?
Just kidding.
Hey, here's the deal. I post a lot of stuff that's funny, and the algorithm with like marijuana F's us up.
Yeah.
So it doesn't anyway.
Yeah, you are funny. That is funny.
Oh, dude. Awesome. Thank you. It makes me feel so good. You're like moderate, like on a good day.
I know.
Okay. So was your first post thick fillet?
Yeah, that's about right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, one of those was the first one.
Okay, so thick fillet, which is a picture of, I assume, your hand. Is it your hand?
No, I think you want to know where I got that.
Yeah, she can't have nails like that.
Yeah, those are good looking nails.
No, I got that from when you're on Facebook Marketplace and they're putting up ads from like actual sponsored ads. I think that's like a sticker you can order from there.
Oh, okay. So a screen cap.
Yeah.
When Fire Daddy asks.
Oh my god.
What's for dinner? Thick fillet. Okay. So
did you buy the sticker?
Did you get the
sticker?
No. Okay, cool.
Savage.
So yeah, you animal. Okay, so it looks like March of 13. So yeah, you're coming up on a year. That's freaking cool.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we started pretty quick, and you got like, God, you're up to several like 1,000 followers. Okay, 1,800. But you were.
I'm like 1,800. Yeah.
Were you in the 2000s at one point?
Mm-mm.
I swear you were. Okay.
I don't. unless 200 people just left, maybe I posted something wildly offensive. I don't know.
Well, that's like every post, so I think that would you're probably
that's why
fine.
they're there.
Yeah, you're probably fine. Okay, so you kind of wanted a creative kind of outlet to be funny, and again, I think you're funny, so that's really, really good, really interesting. Let's see what's one of the craziest things, because you and I have talked about, because you got off for like, was it a couple months maybe?
I think it was like 2 months, if I remember correctly. Maybe 2 months. Yeah.
Okay, and you got off like Wreck My Pelvis, and you have a personal account, right, that you got off of?
Yeah, I got off pretty much all social media for like 2 months. I'd worked up until September of this last year, and
Okay.
I took 3 months off, and I just was like stepping back from everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a busy year. I'd moved, bought a house. I've been travel nursing for I think 7 years now, and it was just like I just need to take a breath. And like I literally moved into my house, started work the next day. I wore two different shoes to work like that day on my first day. And so at the end of all of that, I was like, yeah, I just need a break. And so I did take break from all social media, including this one, which was a little hard to do because there were people on there that I genuinely like liked to talk to or like banter with or whatever.
Sure.
And then there was just the nature of the post, which I'm not like, oblivious to, attracts a certain type sometimes of people, but people are brazen.
Okay.
Like real brazen. Like
Nothing's
I tell
off
people
limits
when
on the social media. There's that
yeah.
like there's things that people would say on social media that they would just not say it like face to face.
That's what I said. I said there like 80% or maybe even maybe 80%, maybe 70 of these people would like of these followers would say things that they would never say to your face, and if they did, they would get punched in the face. Like, you know what I mean? They're just behind a
Sure.
keyboard and you're like, and it's like it is what it is. I think I just was like not really like accustomed to like that amount of like bombardment. And then I felt this obligation to like respond to people no matter what because they were supporting the page and I appreciated that. And so then it was like, okay, I got to find a better balance between I don't owe everyone a response or, whatever it may be. And like, of course, like if someone sent a pic, I wasn't like obligated to like send a pic back, but I would be like, oh, I've seen bigger. Like,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay. So not that I was trying to get DPs involved here. I call them DPs because I'm very mature.
You're classy.
I'm mature. I'm
Okay,
classy.
okay.
Okay. So obviously you kind of felt, I think, a little bit overwhelmed with everything going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So took a step back. And so real quick, before I ask why you came back, what's like the craziest thing that you've ever been sent?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say like, cause you'll post some like an anonymous, ask me any question.
Oh yeah.
And then I'll like scroll through those, and some of the questions I see, I'm like, oh my God.
Because now you've taken
wild.
away, yeah, because now the only thing that was holding them accountable was some form of like username, and now that's missing.
Yeah.
So like there is no filter, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing
No.
on this.
So yeah, what's like one of the crazy, and I'll also want to say this. So the other night you had like an anonymous whatever. So she's just scrolling through whatever the stories, and she finds like an answer to a question. She goes, "Was this you?" And I'm like, "No, it was not me. I swear to God." Like it was something that I would say.
It's something you would say.
I would
sure.
totally say it, but like, it wasn't me.
Yeah,
it wasn't me.
I wish I knew what the question was.
Well, yeah, maybe not on the potty, but I'll tell you. But okay, so what's the craziest thing you've been sent?
I mean, like I guess DPs, like
unsolicited. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm like I'll like sometimes they would send it in like a like the disappearing or whatever, like you can view it once kind of thing, or like but sometimes you just open it, it would be there, and I would be like, oh, okay, like hi. Nice to meet you. I mean, there are decent people out there, but there are a lot of people out there that are either like married or committed who like just do not care, and they will send things or say things And I'm like, bro, you're like literally post your significant other in your thing. Like I could just send this, you know what I mean? Like what's wrong? And like, I would never do that because it's not my business to get involved in someone's life. Like if somebody like there's a, you know, like when you have like a business account, you have like a primary, general, and then a restricted, and like there's people in the restricted, I just don't even see it anymore. And that was one of my methods of like coming back with like some sort of boundaries. They just like don't.
So do you like, number one, I can't believe people, and I'm going to say probably that most people that follow you are in a profession that I'm familiar with, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I would say 90%.
Which I'm all about having fun and a good time. But like there's a line that you cross, obviously, and I think that's one that has obviously been crossed.
And I think that's where I struggled, was because like even though I would definitely myself, and then like my best of friends would be like, you're kind of a weirdo. Like, okay, I take that with pride. Like yeah, I'm kind of a strange person. I have probably a strange way of thinking about things. But like I would never just like unsolicited like reach out. Like I'm not reaching out to like celebrities and be like, oh, here's my boobs, you know, like like who does that? And so I think like it's the internet in and of itself is such like a fantasy world for people anyway. So they just think like, oh, I can just do whatever. And I'm like, whoa, like, you know, so like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Okay. So like you say now they kind of go in like the restricted, because so I'm familiar. I do like our social media stuff, but I don't understand like the inner workings of it. I just kind of do the memes. I mean, seriously, like I don't really understand what's up. I just post stuff. So like, how do they go into the restricted category?
You just move them in there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like you can move people from like general to primary or primary to general.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you get the DP.
Yeah, she's already. It's happening.
It's in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get the DP, then you toss them in the restricted area.
Yeah, like you just don't even get a notification of it. So if you go into that folder, you might see there's like notifications within that, but you don't know. So I just like don't even go into it. I
probably got like a
So quick, all right. So how many you don't have to look, but how many, or I don't know if you want to, not at the actual post. How many notifications do you have in the restricted?
So she doesn't get notifications for restrictions.
But can't she like look at how many people are in there?
I can look and see how many people are in there, but like it doesn't tell me a number of like how many there are.
Okay, gotcha.
And it would probably, and to be honest, it would probably be a substantial number, because if you take the number of people only because if you take the number of people in there and multiply that by every single time they've responded, and that's including stories. If they reply to my story, that goes in there. Like I don't see anything from them.
Because they, on their end, they don't see that, right?
I guess.
Yeah, I don't think that they see that on their end. Otherwise,
because they continue to like comment.
They continue to send, so they're not getting some message, so maybe they don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, are we in there?
I don't think they know.
Is extracted in there? Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So you left for a few months for obvious reasons, which I don't blame you a bit.
Yeah.
All right. So why'd you come back?
I missed it. I missed like there were people that I like I said. Well, I will say I had a couple good conversations with people. One of whom I've also never met before. It's a long story, but so do you know the company First Form?
Yeah, the supplement.
Okay, so when I first took a break that next morning, like one of my goals was I felt like I was just running in circles, and so one of my goals was like, I want to create a really good routine. I've never been really in a great routine because I've been travel nursing. I'm picking up and going all the time. And I just never made that a priority. And so I was like, all right, I'm just going to sign up for First Form. They have all the workouts. I don't have to think about it when I go to the gym. It's just everything's like laid out as a plan until I get a good, grasp on that. And so I go to sign up, and they like have you upload all your stats. They have you upload like pictures so you can do like progress photos, and like no nudity, but you're in a bathing suit. But I was just like in a bra and underwear. And then the next step is like, okay, now connect with your advocate. And my advocate was this follower because I had clicked on it. And I was like, oh my God. Now I'm just like, so he like reaches out to me, and he's an amazing human being. Like, whatever. So it worked out. And like we were talking like just like workout and nutrition and diet and supplements for like a long time. And I talked to him about it, and he gave me a lot of like good advice, the boundary thing. And then I totally forgot where I was going.
Hey, that's okay. I do it all the time.
Yeah, I totally forgot where I was going with that.
So we're talking about coming back, why you came back.
Oh, yeah, coming back. So like, I miss talking to people like that. And one of the things that he and I talked about was that I actually do not like social media. I have not liked it for a long time. I have like some other social media accounts. One of them primarily, Facebook, because I have a lot of family on there and my family's all in Florida. So keeping in contact with them, but I don't really post a whole lot anyways. I think there's like a lot of good that came from it, but I think it is just like really disconnecting us. But one of the benefits I think of it is that you connect with people that you may have never connected with ever in your life. And like, they turn out to be really good souls, you know, like I've met a couple people from the meme account, who are genuinely like great human beings. And I'm grateful for that. And so I missed that part of it. And like, I didn't know these people in any other way. And so, you know, we hadn't shared like personal information or anything. And so I couldn't check on them and vice versa. And so I wanted to come back, but I wanted a better plan to like not be like overwhelmed and bombarded. So like one of the things I did was turn off notifications for social media. So if I want to see it, I have to go onto it too. Because it is relentless. Like all day your phone is just going off. And you know, when I would be at work for 12 hours and my phone's just like vibrating, I'm like, holy crap, you know? And if you don't I felt like if I didn't check it regularly throughout the day, it would be like this big catch up process. And now I just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So I guess I need to take some of your advice because I feel like that's what I do.
Yeah. He definitely has his notifications on all the time. I do the personal or the do not disturb time. So in the evenings around whatever, 6 or 7, I don't even know what time it is anymore. It turns off and I just get texts from my favorites and stuff like that. So all notifications turn off. And then you can actually set some of those, not within the notifications on the app, but within your phone, you can set some boundaries. So if it picks up that I'm at the gym, then it'll turn it on like a do not disturb setting.
Oh, nice.
And so I do some of that just throughout the day because I guess I am a little ADD in that regard. Cause if I see it come across on my watch or on my phone, I'm like, oh, I gotta see what's going on.
100%.
And in reality, I don't really need to see what's going on. And so
I do. I need to see what's going on all the time, 24/7.
Lives in an ADD state.
I am constantly, if I'm not answering you, then I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good to know.
So if you send a message or comment or something and it's been more than 32 seconds and I haven't answered you, I've died.
Yeah, which and I lately so you've been dying a lot.
Yeah,
I was like that.
Yeah, I've died a lot.
And I also had this moment I had this conversation with someone who I started to wonder whether, so I'm single by choice.
Okay, yeah, totally.
But I, have been for a little while, whatever. But I often started to wonder, would the type of person that I want to be with care about this meme account? And if I got so serious enough with someone, I would obviously they would know about this, and there would be no hidden I don't care, you want to look at this, you know what I mean? It's not like that. There's nothing in there that's meaningful to me or a meaningful, whatever it may be. If I'm at that point with someone, we're not talking on Instagram. So and so that sort of weighed on my mind too. And I was like, well, I don't know. And would that be? I have no idea. And then I was like, I don't even care.
Okay, I like that attitude because it takes a long time to make memes. I don't think people that don't make them don't understand. I feel so stupid even saying this.
I know it does feel really stupid, but
there's times on certain days I'll get with her and I'm like, listen, I'm going to be making memes all day, over here. I'm serious. Is it?
Yeah.
So I'll make 2 or 3 weeks worth of memes. And it's just a lot more work. I think people think you just automatically generate it and it's just there, but you got to find the picture, I always have typos. I'm sure, I've even seen some typos that I just went ahead and sent.
Particularly, the ones that misspell the business.
I actually misspell my own page, but I have been known to not proofread things. But so I get it. I totally get it. So I am glad you're back. I think you're cool. You are a better person than I thought.
Thanks.
I mean that in a good way. I mean that in a good way. I know
it's
Yeah, you just seem like a really good like person, and you seem like a lot of the people that we talk to. I mean, on the cannabis side of things, they're just like super honestly, cool that I wouldn't expect to be. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, I think that, like, I think a lot of people are surprised. That's like a reaction I get from people because there have been a few people we've moved to more like a personal connection. Like I have my friend who was part of First Form, like we have each other's personal information. Like I can call him up, like whatever. Very limited, but there has been a few, and I think people are just like, whoa, like, and that's like so weird for me to say because I'm like, I don't know, I'm just this human being existing, and like I don't know, but I think people are surprised that like once they see the meme page, and like that's one problem. A lot of people have this idea that I'm like raging like nymphomaniac, like whatever. I'm like, hey, I have like a real life. Like I'm a mother. I have a real like career. Like I take care of people, But there's this. I mean, I was raised by a cop, and my stepdad was in the Navy, so like I grew up in a very like sort of rough around the edges like type people, and so I'm just like who knows.
Okay, no,
and I'm a nurse, so
yeah. I didn't know if you wanted to say that, so I was like trying to lay off of that. But okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so one of my questions was because it feels like to me that you kind of like play towards cops, firefighters, like that's kind of your target audience, I guess, if you will. So my question,
like first responders.
Yeah, first responders, I guess that's probably a better way to put it. So one of my questions was, why do you kind of target them? But then you also, I say target, God, that sounds bad.
Yeah,
pitch to them.
Aggressive language.
Yeah, that's aggressive. Sorry, especially up here in New England, that's going to be considered very aggressive.
Yeah, we're going to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I need to dial it back.
People are triggered,
dude. Yeah. So I've got some things up here. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I smell like, okay, can I just say that I feel like I smell like weed right now from our green lab?
Yeah, we both smell like marijuana hardcore.
That's what I was smelling. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I still smell like weed.
Yeah, there's a lot of marijuana today. Mm-hmm. So okay,
it's wildly accepted.
Yeah, it is, and yeah. Anyway, all right, I gotta get back on track. Okay, so one of my questions was, why do you kind of pitch to that type of demographic? Thank you. I was going to say people, but we can't say that anymore.
Demographic's more neutral.
Yeah, demographic.
So like I had really I mean, Instagram's probably my favorite platform, and like I just love the visuals, the pictures, and so I've been on it for like quite a while, and I've followed other meme accounts and pages, and like it's just hilarious. And then working in healthcare, and like specifically, I'm an ER nurse, so like we get to see those people. We get to see police and fire, and the EMTs and all that on a regular basis. So like you're especially when you're working in a community, and like you get to know these people, right? And so and we sort of have the same trauma, like it's shared trauma experience.
Yes.
And so like I can relate to like what they're going through, and I can relate to like on a level, like I am in no way a first responder. I would never claim to be. It's a totally different world. And in no way like law enforcement. Like I don't know how you guys do it, especially in this climate, but like I have a lot of respect for it. And so I think our humor is along the same lines, and it wasn't ever intended necessarily, I guess, like for that. And everything, I would like to say that like pretty much every meme on there usually comes from like an interaction with a person.
It's totally real, isn't it? That's the great thing about memes is something is happening to generate that specific like response.
Yeah, if there's something on there, you can pretty much bet that just happened to me today, or that was a conversation today, or whatever it may be. So like I think like that very first meme, there was a firefighter at work that would always come in, and he would, say something about being so thick and da. I'm like, and then it just like kind of comes to you. So it just sort of like naturally unfolded that way.
Very cool. So, all right. So has like a first responder ever come in to the ER and been like, hey, I like that meme you made earlier?
No one's ever recognized me, and like nobody that I work closely with like knows anything about it. And that is because I work with primarily women. And while I love women and like celebrate them, blah, 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 they can be really petty.
Yes.
They can be really petty people, and like they're just not, men are just different. So that was actually, I forgot about this. That was another reason I got off of there. And that was because a very very PG meme got reported. And I know it was a report because the same meme, that same photo came from a very large Instagram account. And they had it up, and they still had it up, and nobody reported it from them. So it was like a man laying on the bed with underwear or boxers on. And it was like a very shadowed picture too. Like, and the woman was like sitting on his back or something and massaging him, and she was wearing like a bra and underwear. And again, it was very shadowed and nothing you wouldn't see at the beach. And it said something like, men like to be cared for too. And it got reported, and it pissed me off because I think it goes back to that point. Like, people don't realize how much time it takes to like keep this up. And like, I was just like, you know what? It's just not worth it for me. I have a million other things I could be doing than doing this. And yeah, and I like challenged that one. It actually did get overturned, and like they put it back up. I would venture to say that 95 to maybe 99% of my followers are men, and there are women on there too. And most of them I have interacted with on some level, and like they're amazing. But sometimes there will be a new follower and one gets thrown in there, or I'll notice that like there was one, for example, this only happened once, but like it was a follower and then the girl followed and they had the same last name in their thing. And I was like, oh, let me see if these two are related. And they were. It was a husband and wife. And I don't know like what, that was. I'm not saying it was them, but like I just have a really hard time believing that like men do exactly what they want to do and they don't do what they don't want to do. That's just in their nature. And they're not going to go out of their way to do something like that. Maybe some would. Maybe some are like burned or whatever, but I don't think I pissed anybody off too bad. Like, I just wouldn't answer someone,
Right.
But like, it's really hard to believe that it was a man that was reporting that kind of stuff. Like, I just got shadow banned actually yesterday. A meme got reported from December. Like,
what?
Yeah, like I don't know that I understand the whole shadow ban thing, honestly.
Yeah, what is that?
Because I've seen some of the. Because there's I checked like our account briefly today, and some of the meme page we follow said that there's some shadow bans that are going on.
Yeah,
and I don't know what that means. So
my stories were restricted. So like I had posted a couple stories on my trip from my contract job down to home yesterday. They were restricted, so you can see an obvious change in views. So like where you're going, let's say you're like all of your stories have, let's just say 500 views, and then all of a sudden you have 12 views. And you're like, and it's been up for 6 hours and you're like, that's just, something's wrong. And then I knew something was wrong because I couldn't even click on my story to look at it to see like maybe Instagram just isn't updating, like, whatever. And then from the like follower side, they would have to type in your entire page name in order to get to your page if there wasn't an easier way. Like if they had you in their DMs, they could just go through that way and they wouldn't even think anything of it. I would assume that your actual story at the top probably isn't appearing, that they would actually have to go to your page. It's just very obvious. And then yesterday, it seemed like it was a lot of like law enforcement accounts that got shadow banned. And I don't know how I got included in that group of degenerates, but I did.
Well, because you're a degenerate. That's why. That's pretty easy.
I asked one of the pages, I said, did you freaking comment on my photo or something? Is that how I got involved in this? Like, I don't know. But
okay.
I got shadow banned yesterday. I think I was talking about all this, about the effort, like just the effort that it takes like to put into this, and like, is it all really, worth it?
So it's like you're restricted, but you're not like blocked or whatever, or like shut down. You're just kind of like restricted, I guess.
I feel like we talk about, you and I think we call it like the algorithm, right? I think that we've probably been shadow banned before for some of our marijuana topics.
Yeah. So we'll post something just like, putting on a green lab today, hashtag like marijuana or whatever. Cannabis.
Yeah.
And like all of a sudden, like we'll just get nothing for like the longest time. We're like, God, oh my gosh, what the heck? And it always pisses me off because right behind it, I feel like I have a pretty killer
memes.
Like I'm like, damn it! Like this thing was solid. There's no freaking way it got 2 likes. Like get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So I guess so maybe we have been shadow
probably
banned.
have. I just because I think that when she was talking about the view things, like there'll be some things that there'll be like thousands of views, and then the next one will be like 200, and I'm like.
It's the craziest, Okay. Well, that kind of makes sense.
It's part of the algorithm, I think, too. It's like a veil of sorts. Like they sort of just put you back in the back corner and nobody can see you.
Okay. I feel like we've been in the corner often. I guess it's the weed show. We should probably knock that off.
Probably.
Yeah, that's like definitely like could be. And if you were restricted, you would know. It would say like they actually give you a couple warnings, like your account is in danger of being, restricted or like blocked or whatever. And I've gotten those a couple times. I got into a conversation with, remember Seroquel?
Yeah.
Remember that? Did you follow her? Yeah. So that's why she quit, because it was just getting to a point where she was getting reported so much. Yeah. One option is that you can go private, but the problem is that it's like a double-edged sword for me, because to be honest, I just like, if it makes someone smile, like there's been people who are like, please don't ever stop doing this, like this makes my day. And like that sort of fills my cup intrinsically, not in like a superficial way, but I'm like, okay, great, like you had a better day because something ridiculous that I said, yeah. And so I like that part of it, but you do, like, eventually you're like, okay, it's just not worth it. But yeah, you'll get notifications that you're going to be blocked, and I'm sure like I've gotten it 2 or 3 times now. I don't know what your like the strike is. That's like Instagram's like, okay,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I think, again, from the user perspective, I would imagine that because we haven't got any like notice of restrictions, we can't advertise anything because they think we're a head shop or something. But
yeah.
But like, I think that from the user perspective, instead of them just being like, oh, that I didn't like that, like just moving past it, they felt like they needed to report you or something, like just instead of just scrolling, like moving on.
Yeah, like what I don't get it. Like you're exactly right. Like you could just keep on going, but I always had thought in the back of my head, like I had posted something in response to that, and I was like, I did use the word trigger. I thought whatever you saw in this post that triggered you, like that you should go and look there, right? Like you should figure out what that did to you, because it's not me. Like, I'm not interacting with your husband. You know what I mean? Like, I don't play those games. It's not me. You want to put it on me. You do. But, like, it's not me. And so, yeah, like, that was my point, was that I just found it hard to believe that, like, men were no man is reporting this stuff. They're laughing. You know what I mean?
And they probably don't know how to either.
Yeah, we're not smart enough.
Yeah. No. Actually, someone did say that to me. They're like, I don't even know how to report somebody.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Let me talk about men for a second. And I say this in classes. So I've said this in front of thousands of people, by the way. We are so dumb, and I'm lumping myself in that. Like, I am so stupid. I don't know how to use this stuff.
Yeah, but she doesn't like you because you know how to use Instagram. Like, it's a balance, right? Like, we need you need us. Like, it's a thing.
Okay, I agree. And I appreciate that, because it made me just feel wanted. But like seriously, we are like so stupid. And again, I guess I'll say myself, because nobody, oh my God, he said stupid, but I'm dumb. But so yeah, it's definitely not a man reporting you, because we just don't know how. We don't have like the brain power to make that happen. Okay, so a few other things I want to get to. So you moved from, can I say where you moved from?
Like
sure.
Okay, the state? Yeah, not your address.
Like where I'm from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I will post. I just want to make sure you okayed it. You signed a waiver saying that I could put your actual physical address on here, right?
Yeah, please do. I'm looking for a husband.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you moved from Florida, which I would say is the second greatest state in the United States, right after the great Texas, which is where I'm from.
I was going to say, you sound really country. Where are you from? Okay.
Oh, dude, totally. So we're from Missouri.
Yeah.
Okay.
Born in Texas.
Yeah, so the Midwest. Why would you move from Florida to the Northeast?
Okay, so oh my gosh, how did
you get like super drunk one day?
And then couldn't turn around.
Yeah, and then like got lost, took a wrong turn somewhere?
Yes, yeah, and I was like, and so then I got this tattoo of these coordinates, so that if I ever got lost again, someone will be able to just push me back to where I came from.
Okay, real quick. Do you actually have coordinates on your side?
I do.
Okay, so does this one.
I have
from where?
From where I grew up in Missouri. But yeah, from my parents' house. Yeah.
What are your coordinates? Just like a hobo's house, or what?
Her like a son of a bitch too.
The closer it got to your rib cage, the more I wanted to forget the last couple numbers.
Never mind, just
so her coordinates are to home. Are your coordinates to like a truck stop or something? Like what's the deal on that?
It was the original place I did holes at, and so I just thought that was really special in my heart.
Very good. Somehow you went up me. I'll take it.
No, it was it's to Maine. So I was living in Florida. I was married. He was in the military. Well, I say the military is in the Coast Guard. Give me a break.
Oh yes, I love it.
And so he got stationed up in Maine, and I had never left Florida before. And I had always wanted to go to Maine, and I just I could live there. I love Maine. Portland's changed a lot since all the people from Boston moved in, but whatever. So it's Maine. So I moved from Florida, moved to Maine, didn't work out with the coastie. And then and then I started travel nursing because he had a military job. I was a nurse. I had a lot more flexibility. And we have a child together, so it made a lot of sense. And so then I've just been traveling all over the East Coast, and yeah, that's where we're at. And I would love to go back to Florida. I would, but it is so hot, like, and humid. Like, it's the humidity, and like I didn't realize until I left how hot it was. Plus, Florida, even though I love it, I do lean politically with a lot of Florida. I agree with a lot of ways they handled COVID and just letting people live their lives. Like, yes, I was taking care of sick people. It is a thing. Like, I get it, and I'll probably get backlash for this, but like, I didn't agree with all of that. And so, anywho, I digress. It has changed a lot, and a lot. Like, people say, "Oh, you're from Florida. You're crazy." Da, da, da. I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
Hell yeah, I'm crazy. That's what I say. Hell yeah, I'm crazy.
I am crazy, but I've never done meth. Like, not everyone from Florida does meth. And like, a lot of people who live in Florida are transplants, right? They have arrived there. Jesus, like, I think the median age in like South Florida is probably like 80. Yeah. They call it like heaven's waiting room or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm actually from Jacksonville. I'm cool saying that. And Jacksonville is just not what it was when I grew up there. Like, I think it's one of the fastest growing cities, like maybe the second in the country. The property value there is crazy. The traffic is insane. I just cannot sit in traffic. I have too bad of ADD. I'll lose my mind. And then the crime, it's not like it was when I was there, and I don't want to raise my kid there. So
in Florida, it's so
yeah.
or in Jacksonville.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, in Jacksonville, like, yeah. And like, relatively, if you look at cities like Philadelphia or DC or Chicago and other big cities, like, it's probably on par with that, but like, I don't know it that way, Okay. So it's just changed for me. Just different.
Okay. Would you?
I feel like we have a common thread in the fact that she is from Florida and did not do meth, and we are from Missouri, the Ozarks specifically.
And we only kind of do meth.
Only on special occasions.
Yeah.
It's a holiday meth situation.
Yeah. Christmas methamphetamine.
Do you take Adderall? Because that's meth.
That's true. And yes, I do. Yeah, yes.
I've been off of it for 5 months, but I think I need to go back on it.
No, hey, you're spot on. Don't. You're doing great. You're killing it. Hey, would you ever move to Missouri? Yes or no? Go.
No.
Okay, that's all that I needed.
Fair.
Okay, but here's the thing. The reason I say no is because I've never been there, and when I think of the Midwest, I just think of like super hillbillies and meth. Like, I just don't know it that well. I would have to visit. And
well,
you pretty much nailed it.
I would have to visit there. Like, I think there is I don't remember where it is actually in Missouri, but my son and I are taking a road trip this summer. I'm taking the summer off. And we're going to go out west, like fly out to Arizona and rent like a camper van and travel around. And there was somewhere in Missouri, I think he wanted to go, that was very beautiful. So Branson. I don't think we'll make it.
Branson.
Is that where they make all the drugs?
So it's a big spot. It's like the redneck version of Vegas.
Well, it's like Christian Las Vegas, which I don't think you'd fit in there. So you probably shouldn't go.
Christian Las Vegas. What?
Yeah. What? Okay. Is it Lake of the Ozarks?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Missouri has pretty nature.
Yeah, we're hillbilly.
How did you get to Missouri?
Took a wrong turn in Albuquerque. That's how I got to Missouri.
You spent most of your
time no. So like
to say you're from Texas.
So half my family lives in Missouri, half my family lives in Texas. So like parents split up. Mom went to Missouri, dad stayed in Texas. So I've been in Missouri for a long time.
My family's from Texas too.
She's a legit hillbilly though.
I am a legit hillbilly, but my mom was the first person that lived in Missouri. So we were from Texas too. Like all my
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So her and Bird are related. I'm not going to say how, but they're related, which everybody is where they're from.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm a transplant though. I'm not one of these hillbillies.
You totally grew up like 10 miles from.
I'm not one of these hillbillies. Don't let me into that. Okay, let's see. What do I got here? Okay, I think every fundraiser we've done for like a fallen cop or a fallen officer, something like that, you've always like bought a bunch of stuff. and kind of like contribute to that. So while we're here, I just wanted to say thank you. And I think that that's super awesome that you do that, especially being like a single mom and stuff. So just wanted to cover that real quick. I have it on my notes here. So thank you. I think that's awesome. I also think it's really cool that, can I say that what you do with the stickers?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay. So like, it was cool because you would just like send a random picture of like a defund these nuts sticker, like in like a bathroom stall at work.
Oh, that was at a bar. Yes.
Okay. So whatever it was, like you would just randomly send a defund these nuts sticker. And it was always where somebody would see it. And of course it's like in the Northeast. I'm like, oh, somebody's totally getting triggered by that. So I appreciate that even more. I've got four more real quick questions because I know we're coming up on an hour. I think I only told you 45 minutes, so sorry.
That's okay.
So we go to a Dunkin' Donuts, and it's a drive-through. So I whip around, and this lady's handed me, or she's taking my order, and I said, "Hey, I want a coffee. Give me 4 creamers, 2 Splendas." So I follow up with a question. Hey, are you putting the creamers in, or you just put them on the side? Because I didn't want her to feel like I was telling her to do that or whatever. So she's like, "No, we'll put them on the side, or put them in there." So we whip around. And I said, "Hey, sorry for the confusion. I was asking it because Starbucks, whatever." And
Which is arguably what we have more in our
area. Yeah, we have more Starbucks. We don't have any like Dunkin' in our area.
I mean, arguably we have more McDonald's, but
more McDonald's. That's true, or gas stations. So anyway, we're sitting at the drive-through window for maybe 20 seconds.
Yeah. And it was a pretty quick transaction. We just got black coffee with cream and
so
sugar.
Real simple.
Like a frappuccino.
She says the word, and you're gonna have to edit this out. She says 4 times, like in 20 seconds. And I'm like, I'm just wanting like my coffee. And I'm like, oh yeah. Like, so I don't know if that's normal, but this morning we go to McDonald's because it's the only place open apparently at like 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we get a cup of coffee, and the guy's like, and they got to bring us the coffee, because it's not ready or whatever. And he walks out and he's like, "Hey man, we brought you like, this is the 2 fresh cups. This is the good shit," and like hands it to me. I don't get offended. I'm not offended by anything that I just said. However, I have never heard the word in a drive-through in the Midwest.
So yeah, ever.
So my question is pretty normal around here? Like, is that pretty like?
Yeah. Also, I think New Englanders, and you have pockets, and there's exceptions everywhere, but like, they're just brash people. Have you ever heard that they're brash, but they're like nice? So like, have you heard the thing where like, they say like West Coasters are like nice but fake, but East Coasters are like mean but real? You know what I mean? So like, it's just like something. Yeah, it's a culture thing. You're like, oh, okay, right, we can talk like that. Yeah.
So
for me, it's like I don't get it as much as like it doesn't baffle me as much like when they're upset, or like you can tell like
right when I'm upset, I'll say whatever I want.
But yeah, like in terms of describing like intense excitement, like because I was like, oh yeah, it's going pretty good, like things are going pretty well. He's like, yeah, it's awesome. I'm like,
yeah,
like that's the peak amount of awesome
for
me.
There's no more.
Awesome. And I don't know that.
No, but you know, like, and so I think it's part of like culturally, just like, because I would find it kind of strange that customer service is just dropping the F-bomb in casual conversation. Like,
that's what we thought.
Like, yeah.
Again, don't care.
Like,
don't care. I got my hot coffee. I don't care. Not offended. I just.
What time was it?
The first one was like 2:00.
2, yeah, like 2 in the afternoon.
Never mind.
It's not like they're drunk from like the night
guy
before.
I could get the one that was at 4:00 in the morning. He's not like probably doesn't get a lot of social interaction, so he's gonna maximize.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah. Do people give you shit about drinking coffee? I mean, Starbucks and being a cop? Because remember when they were like, "Oh, I still drink it and I support law enforcement. I just don't care." Like I just don't care.
So I wouldn't say I'm a huge Starbucks guy. Like if I can drink anything other than Starbucks, I will. But I also enjoy a cup of coffee. So I will do it, but I also refuse to say things like venti. I'm like, it's a freaking large. Give me a large coffee.
So
I just order it on the phone.
Yeah.
I just order it on the app so I don't have to talk to anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody.
I like that.
That's the way.
And I go in, I pick it up, and I go out, and I don't have to interact with anybody.
Yeah. So not a fan of Starbucks or Nike for that reason, right? But Nike makes a hell of a tennis shoe, and Starbucks makes a good cup of coffee.
Yeah. When we say that we have Starbucks mostly in our area. You have to drive at least 45 minutes to get to it. So mostly what we have in our area is gas station
coffee.
Oh, you got the runs a lot.
Yeah, we always be pooping our pants.
We got a lot of stories.
Also, that's why I want to go back to I do not poop or fart. And when I am like either dating someone or in a relationship, you will never hear me fart. You will never see me poop.
Okay, so you don't poop or fart around people?
No, not someone I'm romantically interested in. No way. And I really don't want to hear it from them either, to be honest. Like, I'm not like someone who's like, oh my God, you did that. But like, I think after a while, like a couple of years, you're like, God, this person's been ripping farts in my house for like however many times, like a day or whatever. And like now.
Okay.
If you don't want.
It's a fair ask.
Is that fair? Okay. So, okay. It's like we got the jury's in and everybody says that's a fair ask. Okay. All right. Sorry. I'm wrapping it up. Okay. Real quick. Trooper, cop, deputy, rank 1, 2, 3. Who's number one?
Okay. Well, trooper, obviously.
Booyah.
But like, I don't know exactly the difference between like, when you just say cop, you mean like city cop?
City.
Yeah. Sorry. City.
And then is deputy like out in the country?
Like a sheriff?
Oh, county. Yeah, because everyone like in Jacksonville, it's the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, but Jacksonville's a city. So like those are also kind of city cops, right? And like it is a county thing. It's Duval County, you're right.
Yeah.
Jacksonville County? Duval County, you said?
It's a little harder up here.
Yeah.
There's not as much county.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of county where you come from.
Yeah. Okay. So, but either way, you put trooper number one?
That's all.
And like all the other rest are trash, I think. I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
And this is here's my love for them. I just think like I think there's like they have high standards, like right. It's like not the easiest to get into. Otherwise, a lot of people would be doing it. And then like their uniforms are just so like proper and like so put together. Like I respect that. You know what I mean?
Damn
like,
right.
Right, like where you have some of these like city cops who just look all just like they just got out of bed or like wearing whatever kind of shoes they want to wear. Like, what kind of professional are you, sir?
Yeah, like two different shoes on one foot, or like two different shoes, like on the same ship. Yeah,
yeah, exactly like that. So it's like I just think there's just like, and I'm not saying they're any better. That's a stereotype. I don't like to stereotype. But they're just like more put together and like they seem more professional and they seem like they're to like a higher standard. So but I do have someone very special to me who's in the LA County Sheriff's Department. So I do love troopers, but
don't you dare backtrack it. I swear to God. I will give your address out so fast. I swear to God. Okay?
I'm not giving it out, but
Okay. All right. Last one I have. Now answer this question very, very carefully. Like, really think about this before you just spit out the answer. What's your favorite meme page?
Oh,
out of there.
What is your favorite meme page?
Favorite meme page? Like, who makes me laugh the most?
And I'm going to say this. This will probably be a clip in our like one of our
sound bites.
Our sound bites for like the podcast. So take it very seriously.
Also, don't feel any pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah. Hold on one second. I just want to, because, I don't know if my dog and my son might bust into here. I don't know if you paid attention to a lot of the like Q&As that I do. A lot of people ask me like, what's your favorite for this or favorite that or whatever. And I have a really hard time picking like a favorite thing. Like, I just like there's so many people I love so much and like I get so much out of, but
so what if I rephrase the question? If you had to delete every meme page but one, what meme page would you keep?
Okay, so this one is like not necessarily along the lines of like the first responder thing, but like I love Brat Eater. Do you follow that account?
I don't think so. Brat Eater?
Yeah, I love that account. A lot of the things are just like super funny.
I'm killing myself, but I'm gonna write it down.
Okay, so like I don't spend a whole lot of time on social media. So like I also like, so if I had to like pick in terms of like what we do. I'm just trying to look at like, yeah. So like, I love Brat Eater. So he's like more, I would say he's like more kink focused, but like it's just hilarious. Like he has this like just very like interesting perspective of things, and I'm like, how did you come up with that? Like I just love that.
Let's see. Can I ask you a follow-up question?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is totally not leading because I just want to put one of these knuckleheads in our soundbite. If you had to pick a favorite cop meme page, who would it be?
Oh, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
Trying to get what he wants.
No, this is not. No, this is not a leading question. I just think it'd be cool to like put one of them in.
It can't be you though, right?
No.
My favorite. I hate you right now so much.
Yeah, come on. Favorite cop meme page. Who's it going to be?
So I'm gonna say this because I respond to this person most frequently. There's a few of them that I love so much, but like Peach the Fuzz is one of my favorite.
Nice.
I always like laugh at him. Say he's hilarious. Like this is a funny dude.
Okay.
Maybe he's a girl. I don't know. He's hidden.
Don't know.
Or he's like, I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, he's funny. He's
awesome.
He's funny.
Awesome. Yeah. Peach the Fuzz. I like it. Yeah. Also laugh at a lot of his or her stuff. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, cool. Okay, that's really all that I think I have on my list of things to talk about. So yeah, I guess we're done. So
yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for being on it. I would like to have you probably back in the future. You were a good time.
All right, I'll let you go. I could talk forever. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Sorry you drank all your whiskey, the alcoholic.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you later. Peace. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.